All right. Let's try this again.
Okay.
Welcome to Aries season, everyone.
It is the first day of spring. We are feeling so inspired, so excited.
The first day of the astrological new year.
Happy New Year.
I feel like this should always be the new year. I'm really feeling this energy. Like, why isn't the new year aligned with spring? It makes so much sense.
It really does. But I also like that it's like a take two. So if maybe like you started your new year off and it didn't really go the way you wanted it to, it's like a second chance.
Okay. Great. So maybe it's not working. Cool. All right. Well, I thought it was working. It worked for me when I tested it earlier.
Is it like a delayed reaction?
Yeah. But I'm prepared for this, and I will return.
We're gonna have just like a lineup of SD cards.
I need to return that because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Should we keep this going?
Sure. You guys can bear with us.
All right.
Technical difficulties.
About to restart. Here we go. Welcome to Aries season, everyone.
We are feeling so excited to do this episode. It is the first day of spring. It's so gorgeous out. Feels like a fresh start.
Yeah, it's the first day of the astrological new year. I'm really vibing on like how it's aligned with the new season, the new, spring equinox, all of that, like you said. Like, I feel like this should always be the new year. Like, I don't know. I don't get why it's in the middle of winter.
Yeah, I totally agree. I also love that it does kind of give us this like second chance at a new start. Like maybe if your new year didn't really start out the way you wanted it to, like now's your chance to start over.
Yeah.
Start fresh.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's literally like, why is our New Year's in like the darkness of winter?
I know, but it gives us like something to look forward to.
Or it's almost like, it's like a false start. It's like,
yeah.
Start getting ready for the new year because
Yeah.
actually in like 3 months, it's going to be the real new year.
Exactly. And we are here. We are here in the new year.
New year, new me. I'm feeling it today. I woke up feeling extra motivated. The weather is so nice. What's it called when the time changes?
I was like spring forward, but
daylight savings. Yeah, that really threw both of us off. But it's like making sense to my body now. It's taken me like, how long? It's been a week, 2 weeks to figure it out. But here we are.
We're ready. I just feel like, thank God it's not Pisces season anymore. I mean, I love all of you Pisces out there, but man, I could not hang.
Yeah.
The emotions really took me out, and I'm a fire sign, so I feel very comfortable with fiery energy. So I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, I love me and Aries. I've been really excited for this episode. I feel like we've only done, this will be our 4th one, right? Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and now Aries. And I feel like I've referenced Aries in every one because I'm like, ooh, that fire.
You're excited. Yeah, no, I'm excited too. I'm just excited for something fresh, something different. Like,
that is Aries. Fresh, different, exciting, optimistic,
confident, straightforward.
And that's the whole episode. Thanks for listening. Just kidding.
Literally. Okay, have a great day. No, I'm excited to talk about this, but I'm just excited for something new. I feel like I've just been kind of feeling a lot lately, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to stop feeling and I'm ready to start doing. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
So
that's what we were supposed to be doing, though. That's why Pisces are just so used to chilling in the fields and like.
I know.
And you're like, get me out.
So not what I'm used to at all.
I feel like a couple years ago, I was really into, like, I'd be excited for like water and air signs. And then I kind of like, I was like, oh, here we go into earth and fire. But I feel like I've switched where I'm like really into the doing. And before I was really into like the feeling and dreaming. And now I'm like, oh, are we done with that? Like,
I know.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. Well, my Capricorn is just like always ready to go. Well, Sagittarius too. I'm always ready to go out there and just like, let's get shit done. This is the season to get shit done.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Aries is represented by the ram. So they take the world, just head on.
Yeah. Picture like a ram just like charging through. That's going to be you this season.
Truly. It's also the baby of the zodiac because it's the first sign of the zodiac. So, think of rather than a baby, I think of a toddler. Like think of toddler energy where they're just kind of like bouncing around and have to stay busy and like moving and grooving through life
Mhm.
and they don't know how to rest and they don't know how to like be chill. That's an Aries.
Oh, that's funny. Well, and I think on like a more like productive note, you could think of it like a child, like how the child like perceives new situations and things. Like they come at it with like such a curiosity and like, ooh, like what if I did this? What's gonna happen? What if I did this? So like seeing if you can embody that energy of just like being curious instead of being like kind of jaded of like, oh well, I've done that and that doesn't work. Like how can you come at things in like a more curious way?
Yeah, it'll bring new beginnings. I have quite a few Aries in my life, and I always know I'm going to have a good time with an Aries. Yeah, they're down to make things fun. You know, this is the time to like go out and do things. Like I said, like think of like you don't want to be too busy, but you definitely don't want to be like sitting back during this time. You want to like
Mhm.
fill your calendar up with whatever feels comfortable. Make sure you're spending time with friends. I have one friend, like group of friends who's literally all Aries and it's so much fun, but also can be so intense if you're with them for more than like 3 days and you're like, whoa, how did all five of you find each other and how are you all Aries? This is
Just like nonstop energy for the whole time.
yeah, and they're all like really like tiny and small, but they're just like mini little rams, just like running around, literally running around the world. Like they do international traveling together and like it's so fun to watch their adventures, but also I'm like, how did this happen? Like I
Mhm.
feel like, like different signs find each other. Sometimes, the same sign finds each other, but I'm like, how did 5 to 8 Aries like find each other in one friend group? Like that
Yeah.
is
And I don't know, I can't speak for this for sure, but I feel like as a fire sign, am mostly surrounded by fire signs. Like when I used to be a bartender, we calculated, I think 90% of my coworkers were all Sagittariuses. So I think maybe there is something with fire signs where everyone kind of like gravitates to one another.
yeah, they're
Like,
the ones out in the
let's
world.
get wild
Yeah.
together.
Well, I mean, I think truly, I think being a bartender would just do that. It's like,
Mhm. It's just
yeah,
a certain type of personality. Yeah.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
imagine that would be a lot of fire signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the air signs are off just like observing somewhere, you know, maybe the DJ.
Exactly. Dancing in the corner.
Well, because they are, think of the ram, they like take charge. They're not afraid of being the leader, they're not afraid of getting things done. They can be fairly, what's the word? Not aggressive, but I mean, I guess that would be like an unbalanced, assertive. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to think of. Like
Yeah.
they will tell you how they are feeling. Like this is no more Pisces season when, we were saying how like the Pisces like wants to make sure everyone else is comfortable
Mhm.
around them and they want to like tiptoe around feelings because they don't want to hurt anyone else's feelings. No, no, no. The Aries moving into this time, it's like tell people how you feel.
Yeah.
Sorry if this hurts your feelings. Hopefully you can bring some of the Pisces energy into this when you are maybe confronting someone because Aries can come off as like really harsh sometimes. So
Mhm.
making sure you are kind of just have some self-awareness around it. Like if you are speaking from your heart and speaking your truth and like needing to speak up about something, make sure you're doing it in a conscientious way and not just
Mhm.
like overwhelming the other person who's receiving because
Yeah.
when you have a ram running at you, that can be scary at
Whoa.
times.
Well, yeah, like you said, that like in Pisces season, we're so in touch with like everything around us. And then Aries is more about like being in tune with yourself and your desires and your wishes. So, like you said, it can be like a time where you're like, this is what I want, this is what I need, making those needs known, but being really honest about it. Like, yeah, not tiptoeing around anyone else. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I need, this is who I am. But I think it's also a really empowering time to really get in tune with yourself, like, and really figuring out what you need, what you want, and either making steps to make those things happen or just, making time to get your needs met.
Yeah. It's also a time to work really hard at whatever you're, like you said, when you have goals, it's just like, I know they are isn't the Aries like the energy in the head? Isn't that what you're saying? Yeah.
It's ruled by the head.
It's ruled by the head, but also I feel like that's like really interesting because they're such a embodied sign. You know what I mean? Like
they're not staying in their head like maybe like Aquarius might, or
yeah,
like they're fully living the expression, but their mind is always like
yeah. Like I was having a conversation with a friend just like about life and philosophy and like going really deep with her, and she was listening. She's an Aries and her mom is also an Aries. They have the same birthday, which I'm like, whoa. Her mom, her and her dad and herself all have the same birthday, and they're all Aries. And then she has another sister who's an Aries. Yeah. Lots of fun, but I bet you it can get pretty intense in that house sometimes. But she was, we were just talking about like the meaning of life, and I was getting so deep, and she was just listening. She didn't have a ton to share. She was just fully listening and taking it all in. And she was like, yeah. And then she said something about, like, it's like fun to think about those things, but also like I want to like soak up the present moments as much as possible. Like I feel like, and it's just like when she said that, she's like, yeah, but aren't you like interested in living this life and soaking up all of this life? Like, yeah, past lives are fun, but also live this life to the fullest. And it like made me like, made me stop and think for a second. I was like, I needed that because I can get so wrapped up in overthinking about the past or the future or what is the meaning of life, and just getting so like in depth with my thoughts that they bring you back to like the present moment and like, okay, but what about right now? Like, what should we go do right now? And they just look at you like a little golden retriever and they're like, let's go, let's go. So,
such a good lesson.
I know.
I will take that into this season, like being present and not focusing on anything else, because we're all here right now. That's all we can do.
Present moment. It's like, just immediately bringing you back like, to the present, because we can get so
but in like an excited way, like, oh my gosh, what are we going to go do? What is today going to look like? How am I going to make today exciting? Like, I'm excited for it.
The rejuvenation of life, of the energies, of all the things. I mean, that's also probably why Pisces season felt a little heavy, because it's like we were wrapping up a year. We're feeling all, like we were saying, we were feeling all the extra residual feelings that needed to be felt. And now it's like, okay, it's the new year. What do you want to do? What do you want to go after?
Leave the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore behind and look towards the future. What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to go for? The energy is very bold. It's very like go-getter energy. So just really like feeling passionate about what you want to do next. Go do it. Make
a list of the, if you've been dreaming up what you want to do, like with Aries season, wrong sign, Aquarius season, like having those downloads of, what you would like your future to look like. And then Pisces season, really dreaming about it and like ruminating on those things. And now in Aries season, you can make the goals, make the to-do list, get out there and get started on these new things you want to bring into your life.
Yeah. It's like we always talk about kind of like the cycle or the steps to go through with manifestation. And it's like following those steps. And now it's finally the time to like, okay, you've been dreaming, you've been thinking, now like go out and start like making these things happen. Like set your intentions, set your manifestations, but like go out and like start doing it and see what happens. And it's a season that's, the energy is really going to help you out. It's really a season for starting things. So, the energy is going to be there to support you along the way.
Yeah. When I think of Aries, I think of like very optimistic, very fun, very joyful. So this is like, it's super supportive to go after those things, because it is going to be so fiery and upbeat and hot, like, hot in that kind of physical way. Yeah, sure. Like it looks sexy hot out there right now this season. No, but also, just like when things are hot, they start to boil, they start to like move, when things are
like coming to fruition, things are happening.
When things are cold, it's just kind of becomes stagnant. So it's heating up life.
What's the opposite energy of stagnant energy? Because that's
a
season.
Freaking Aries. Again, a toddler on a sugar rush.
I like that. And I don't think we mentioned this, but it's ruled by the planet Mars, which is it rules.
It rules.
Thank you. I'm like Why are my words not working? It's the planet of drive and desire. So kind of the things that we were talking about, like it's a time to really focus on your passions and really get out there and just freaking do it and not be afraid. Like there's a lot of courage during this time of just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to stay in my head. I'm just going to go out there. I'm not going to ruminate in my emotions. I'm just going to fucking do it.
Mars can also rule war sometimes. So like unbalanced energy, like I think of an angry ram. Scary. So being aware of like not overdoing your emotions, like not overdoing the aggressive nature that you may be feeling. If you're feeling extra passionate or extra feisty, being aware of that, because you're like, ooh, I'm not about to get into a war right now. Unless you need to. Unless it's the time to freaking box it out with someone, ram your little antlers into someone else.
Well, I think like this season is really going to be, in the more unbalanced side, ruled by anger. But I think we can use that in a positive way of like using your anger as a tool and like really being like, okay, where are these strong emotions coming from? Like, what is the root of this? And like, maybe it's because that person or that thing isn't serving me anymore. And so it's making me mad and it's getting me heated. And so, maybe giving yourself a second to cool off first, of course, but then being like, okay, what can this anger teach me? Like, what's really going on here?
And turning that anger into inspiration. I think that's something I really have practiced over the past couple of years with anything going on in the world that may be like disrupting you and like kind of, it's good to stay informed and to know what's going on in the world, but it can be really distracting and disheartening at times when you really take in all the shit going on and all the negativity and all literally like the evil energies of the world, and you just it can stop you in your tracks and you don't know what to do because who are you to go out and do anything? How can I stop these crazy things going on? But, get angry, feel those emotions. Like you said, you can channel them. Like, where is this rooted in? Where is this coming from? Don't ignore it. And then channel it into something. So if you feel inspired, if it, through the process of feeling it and working through that anger, if you feel inspired to do something, to share something, do it. This is the time to do it,
Yeah. And maybe in the meantime, while you're still like really going through it in the heat of it, like go on a run, like do some intense cardio, like physically like move it through your body, and then you'll kind of get to that point where you like can reflect on it a little bit more and then be at that place to make action or to take action. Because I think one of the more unbalanced sides of this season is kind of taking rash action that's maybe like a little too intense or maybe not quite the thing you should be doing because you're just like fueled by pure emotion. So allowing yourself to really feel it, don't ignore it, but then kind of reflect on it. And then if it still feels like this is what I need to do, then go do it.
Yeah. Make sure you're coming at a place. Yeah. Don't act on pure emotion. I've done that before. And I've done that for a lot of my 20s of just like, I'm feeling this thing. I have to get up and do it now. It's like, sit with it for a while. Is this something just for you to go through and feel, or is this something for you to share?
Yeah.
And if it's something for you to share, then time to get creating, time to do something, time to make something. But that could look different for anyone. So have fun out there with whatever you're going to do. I'm like, it's just such a fun sign. Like, make sure you have something going on in your life that you're looking forward to, whether that's a trip, whether that's like going out to dinner. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but this is definitely a time I'd say for travel too. Like, planning an adventure, or, seeking action in some way of just like having fun. I mean, when I want to have fun, I go hang out with my Aries friends.
Well, and I think you said like plan all these things, and I think that's totally great, and I love that, and I'm actually going to take a note of that to do for myself for the season. But also like allow yourself to be spontaneous. Like if something does pop up last minute, like allow yourself to say and just freaking do it. Maybe it's you totally out of your plan or out of what you thought you would be doing, but this is the time to kind of like take those risks, take those chances, be spontaneous.
Yeah, they're a very spontaneous sign. You could get a call last minute of like, hey, let's go do this. And if it's not in your nature to say yes, maybe go, I'm gonna do it because it's just like the energy is supporting those decisions right now. So don't be afraid to do those things you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a time also, we kind of said I want to say it's selfish, but I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying it in a positive way. Like, it's a selfish time to really look at what you want. And don't be looking outside of yourself during this time. Like, really look within. Like, you don't need permission to do these things. Like you said, if it's like you don't normally say yes or whatever it is, whatever comes up, like, this is really all about you taking charge, becoming your own leader, and just like doing what feels right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These people do not, or this just this energy at this time, people, whatever, do not look for validation outside of themselves. They're so just determined and have this
And confident.
this will inside of them to be who they want to be, and they don't care what other people think around them, and they're just going to do that. And if you challenge them, be prepared for them to challenge you back. And that can be super empowering to channel the energy, because then you're like, fuck it, I'm going to do the things I want. And, if this triggers something in someone else, that's not my problem. And it isn't your problem. I think we get so worked up in that sometimes, where we're like, oh, I had someone like give me a reaction once I told them, this choice that I'm making or this thing I want to do. But just really learning, like, this is my life to live, being that non-apologetic person, and just, showing up to the world the way that feels right for you.
Yeah. And that's, other people are going to notice that. And if it even, like you said, if it triggers some people, I mean, I think for the most part, when people watch you do that and do things with that energy, it's going to be really inspiring for them as well. To, when you watch someone just like confidently go out and do the things that they want, like, that's really inspiring to watch. So you could be inspiring others to do the same. Yeah.
You never know.
You never know how you're going to affect others with your actions.
Nope. Well, should we get into some unbalanced energies?
Let's do it. Yeah. So going back to, like I said, selfish energy in like a positive way, but obviously, could go both ways, where because you're so focused on yourself during this time, you're kind of lacking awareness of like the people around you. Whether that's kind of like lacking a little bit of like thoughtfulness, or not kind of bringing people into account of the decisions if they're going to affect them. So again, still think with your heart, still make those decisions, but just like hold awareness on like how your decisions will affect the people around you, and just hold awareness around it. That's it. Yeah.
You can be a little impulsive during this time. Just like you said, just making quick decisions, not thinking about how it's going to affect the people around you. Being a little too direct can be a thing, where you're like, I'm feeling a certain way, and you need to know. And, I listened to Savannah and Danielle on that podcast, and they said, speak my mind. So I'm going to speak my mind. But like, again, have discernment and awareness of like, is this too much? Am I overwhelming the person I'm confronting or talking to right now? And maybe I should like simmer down. That boil, you may be overboiling. Maybe getting a little too hot.
Yeah. Well, and always make your needs known, but there's always like a way to do it, and I think when you're coming from a place of pure honesty, like, it can be really intense. So just, notice your words, notice the way that you're speaking, and still feel free to speak your mind and make your feelings known, but just notice the way that they're being directed at the other person.
Yeah, you can be a little, like Danielle said, lean into the spontaneous moments in life, but don't be too impulsive. Like, think about the future a little bit. That can be something Aries don't always do, is like want to think about the future, because they're so
present.
They're so present, and they're so like, what about this moment right now? Like, what do you want to go do? Which can be really fun, but also, it's nice to have a blueprint to life and an idea of what's going to be going on. So this will only be happening for the next 30 days or so. So no worries if you are super impulsive, but during this time, we'll move into Taurus season, where we become homebodies again. But
live it up while you can.
Live it up while you can. But just, again, awareness is key. We say that every episode.
Exactly. I think another thing, well, we talked about, you may have a short temper, kind of like lean to anger. Again, use that as a tool. I think another thing is like feeling impatient, having like an impatient energy, or like rushing things to happen instead of flowing through them. Like in Pisces, we were very, very flowy. And now we may be so inundated with like thoughts and ideas and things that we want to go do that we may feel really like we're rushing because we're like want to be, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this. So make sure you're not rushing things. Just like slow down a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The restlessness can kick in too, because if you, I mean, especially for Aries, if you're not an Aries and this time, maybe you're like, whoa, this is like a lot of energy all at once. And like, I'm not used to this, then maybe you'll be embracing the rest time. But if you are an Aries, or if you are someone who runs, like with a fast paced energy, and you are an extrovert and you like to go out and do things, you can burn yourself out. So make sure you are implementing rest, because you can get really just kind of, and I understand in those moments of rest, it's all a balance and all an awareness to like, what do I need in this moment? But if you're resting too long, then you can get restless. And like you said, you can get impatient with life and things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't allow yourself to rest, then you're going to burn out.
Yeah, I know. I got to watch myself this season, because that's what I have a tendency to do with that fiery energy. I'm like, yes, it's my season. And then I'm like, a weekend, I'm like, I need a nap.
I know. We went out and did something this weekend, and
I went a little crazy. It was a full moon, you guys. And
I just Virgo, and we were hanging out with a Virgo.
Yeah, I went just all in, and I'm still feeling it. I think another thing that I want to say that kind of goes along with like the impatience thing is, because we're saying this is the time to start things. This is the time to, just the feeling of like a new beginning. We may be trying these new things and going along with like impatient. It may feel like things aren't happening quick enough. So you may want to quit, where you're like, okay, I'm starting this new thing. It's going to be so great. It's going to be so this. And then all of a sudden it's like happening at a normal pace. And it's like, ugh, I'm over it. Like on to the next thing. So yeah, just be kind to yourself. Understand that even though it is a very supportive time for starting new things, and I think things will move quickly, just be a little patient.
Be patient. Hold that optimistic mindset.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm wearing my local Optimist sweatshirt today.
Wait, that's so perfect.
Which is so funny. Danielle got me this sweatshirt a year ago. I literally in Aries season last year.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So anyway, be a little optimistic. Be your local optimist wherever you live.
Things are working out. Best case scenario.
Divine timing. Yeah. Have all those little reminders. Everything's going the exact pace it should.
Exactly. And go have some fun.
Yeah. Go have some fun. Hang out with your Aries friends. If you are an Aries, oh my gosh. Again, if you don't know Benny Drama's like Zodiac videos that he did, I think that's 2 years ago now. But he started doing these like little, what's it called? When it's like satire, it's like, I don't know. He's a comedian.
Just satire.
Yeah, he's a comedian. He does these little videos. I'm sure everyone listening knows what I'm talking about, because he was everywhere on Instagram. Whenever he would do a zodiac sign, people would freak out and post theirs. And anyway, the Aries one is one of the most iconic videos, and it has the what's her name? Charlie XCX. Yeah, it's called like Vroom. The song goes beep beep. Now let's ride, and it's too real. That song is so Aries, it's ridiculous. So beat, beat, bitch, let's ride for the Aries season.
Get in, bitch, it's Aries season.
So yeah, this is a great time to start something new, whatever.
Shoot your shot. Yeah. Like the thing that you were like, ugh, that's like not possible. Just like try it anyway. See what happens.
Take
a leap of faith.
See what you can do when you just believe. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? As my mom used to tell me all the time. Look at me now, Mom. You proud of me? Oh my gosh.
I'd say also it's a time for setting intentions. I know this is the energy very much of being present, but also, allow yourself to look to the future a little bit, set intentions for what you want, whether it is for, just the season or the month, or whether you want to look at your whole year. But yeah, it's like, think of like New Year's vibes. Like, I think a mix of like New Year's vibes and a mix of like spring cleaning, like those two things together, where it's just like time to clear out the old, bring in the new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, embrace the adventure, gather with the ones you love. They're such a social sign. I don't see Aries alone very often, again, because they're so like down for the present moment that they're like, why am I going to just like sit around and like be by myself? Again, that restless energy. So use it for good. Go hang out with your people, whoever they are. And yeah, have a good time.
Yeah, we talked about in our last astrology episode that Pisces season is, there's just focus on like romance and relationships. And I think that does carry on into this season. I don't think that like totally goes away. So yeah, like hanging out with people you love, planning something fun with your significant other, like just still, holding that focus on the relationships in your life, but also focusing on the most important relationship in your life, which is your relationship with you. What are you going to do for you? Plan a date night for you and just pamper yourself, spoil yourself, whatever you want, because that's really important during this time. Do things for you.
Yep. That's basically very Aries. They have a high self-worth. You got this. Take care of yourself. I'm really not worried about you guys in Aries. You're going to be fine. Just like don't. Just do what we said.
Yeah.
Not to be pushy, because that's very Aries of me, but like,
just, make sure you're not getting too out of balance. But other than that, like, you know what to do.
Yeah. Be a nice person. If you're getting too hot-headed and aggressive, rein it in a little bit. Go sit by yourself, cool down.
And then get back out there.
Go have some fun. Go hang out with your friends. Go plan a date night for yourself or with someone else. Go get dressed up. Go to a concert, that kind of vibe.
Wearing a spicy outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a little hot tamale.
I'm like, do we have any more advice?
I don't think so. That's what I'm saying.
It's
just kind of like,
Aries energy is straightforward and to the point, and I feel like that's what this episode is.
That's what I'm saying.
We're like, we don't need to give you any fluff. This is what it is. Now go do it.
Yeah. Go have some fun. Like I said 5 billion times. Focus on being optimistic. I don't think it's anything you have to focus on. You can feel it. Hopefully, at least I can. I'm like, I can feel the energy. It has shifted.
Yeah.
No more Pisces. And welcome to the fire sign of Aries.
Yeah. I think, a question you could ask yourself, whether it's just when you're listening to this or if you want to go journal later, but what are my desires and needs and how do I meet them? And that's like a good thing to think about this season. Like, how are you going to meet your own needs? Because you don't need anyone else to do that for you.
No.
You are going to meet your own needs.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Go after it. You got this. You don't need no man or woman to take care of you.
All you need is you. And everyone around you is fun and great and love that. And, have like fun
for the 15th.
Why can't I talk today? I have like these thoughts in my brain and I try and express them and it's just, they're not coming out. But you guys know what I mean.
Like we said, she had a weekend, so
I'm still recovering. I am almost 30 years old. I can't act like I did when I was 21. And I'm learning that.
And we'll let you fill in with your own thoughts, whatever you think happened this weekend. It was a good time. But also we had to get up the next day and record an episode, and that was fun.
The lesson I learned is work weekends are not supposed to be fun weekends. Or not that. Just
work weekends are work weekends.
Yeah.
And party weekends are party weekends.
Exactly. Just kind of.
It was a little more than just some fun.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
She was feeling that Aries energy a little early. She said, it was the Virgo new moon, full moon. So
I was feeling that full moon energy, guys.
We all have our days. I'm sitting over here just like bouncing on a little ball. I don't know what is in me right now.
I am like, my feeling today is thank God it's not Pisces season anymore. Just because it affected me so much that I'm like, whew. I will say, I told Savannah this morning, I did have like a blip in time where I felt so connected to my intuition, and I was like, whoa.
For like a day.
For like a day, I was like, my intuition was just like leading the way, and I wish it would have lasted longer than that. But the rest was just sorting through emotions, and so that was
Yeah, I
exhausting.
felt like I was in a fog, and like I said, I was like ready. I'm ready to fucking do some stuff.
I'm ready to be fiery again and confident and like
Let's go
on my shit.
cha-cha. Do the cha-cha. Do the tango.
Salsa.
Do the salsa. You know that? You know the
Oh.
emoji with the girl in the red dress, like
Mhm.
cha-cha.
And then the little pepper emoji. That's also what I picture.
Yeah.
And like the little like
And the ram.
and the ram and the little like woohoo emoji, the little like
Mhm.
celebrate emoji.
Celebrate good times. Come on. Da na 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 na.
Oh my gosh. Thank you
There's
for
a
sticking with
party
us this
going
episode,
on
you guys.
right here. A celebration. All right, I'll stop.
Any last thoughts? Any last advice? Any last anything for Aries season?
Go out and make it your season.
This is your season. This is the
This is-
beginning of the new you.
This is what I'm saying, you guys. It's basically the first sign of 2022. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, we had January, February,
That was
most
just a
of March.
practice.
Those were practices.
Yeah. Now it's your time to freaking shine.
Shine bright like a diamond. Okay? You got this.
You got this. We believe in you. But also we believe in ourselves, and you will believe in yourself this
I think
season.
you said you will believe in us as too.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if I said something like that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all.
It's okay. Twirl dancing in the wind, but at least you're having a good time.
At least I'm having a good time.
All right. Well, I think I could keep talking about nothing, but we should let you go.
We left you with the meat of the information, and we're going to excuse ourselves before we go off into some crazy tangents.
Go off the rails. Let's go do something fun.
I know, I need to do that.
All right.
All right, guys.
Enjoy your week. We'll talk to you next week.
Enjoy the season. Enjoy your Aries.
Go be
season.
fiery.
Yes.
Okay,
Go
bye.
dance. Okay, bye.